Did you know that Cletus Cassidy and Carnage were responsible for waking up Knull? So it started off with Eddie taking his son Dylan somewhere safe because Carnage had been resurrected and was trying to wake up the symbiote god Knull by collecting codexes, which are basically pieces of symbiotes that wrap around the host DNA, and the symbiote leaves these pieces behind when leaving a host to communicate information to the larger hive. Eddie then explained that the Venom symbiote and all of its offspring had been cut off from the hive for a long time, but if all of their codexes were collected by someone, it'd be possible for them to reconnect, which would wake up Knull in the process. Eddie would soon realize that someone was following them, so him and Dylan ran into the subway to try and lose them. Upon getting inside, it seemed as if they were safe, but then the one and only Cletus Cassidy appeared out of nowhere, pushing them into an oncoming train. But just before it could hit them, the Venom symbiote jumped out in front of them, shielding them from being squashed. The symbiote then rebonded itself to Eddie, revealing that it's been watching over him and was actually the one who followed him and Dylan into the subway. Shortly after that, the cops showed up trying to arrest Eddie because Carnage had framed him for numerous crimes. But then out of nowhere, a massive explosion went off with a godlike version of Carnage stepping out of it, whose power was being amped by one of the original symbiotes named Grendel, a giant symbiote dragon. So Eddie proceeded to try and take him down, but never standing a chance, Carnage absolutely tore him apart, and the Venom symbiote could sense how hurt he was, telling Eddie that they needed to run. So Eddie did the only thing he could think of, grabbing the electrical lines connected to the subway and using them to shock himself and Carnage, which gave him and Dylan just enough time to escape. Later on, they went to apartment 616 within an apartment complex, asking for help from none other than Peter Parker. But sadly, that's when our issue comes to an end, but if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.